future we should do these allocations via auction. Now, it's not the case that we always did it that way, but to reopen past policies, past actions on the grounds that had you auctioned, you would have got more money. I mean, in my view, it's a non sequitur. I mean, what does it prove?
32 blocks have recorded unsatisfactory progress, and they have been cautioned.
The recent CAG report on coal allocation has once again brought into focus the larger debate on auctioning of natural resources, with the CAG saying the exchequer suffered a loss of 1.86 lakh crores by not auctioning coal blocks. Hello and welcome. You're watching We Mean Business. I'm Sweta, Rajpal, Kohli, and on the show today, we're asking if auctioning all natural resources is the best way forward for the economy. Let me introduce all our guests on the show today. We have with us Mr. V Kanoria, President of FICCI, Mr. Dushyant Dave, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court, Mr. TSR Subramanian, former Cabinet Secretary with me here in the Delhi studio, Mr. Partha S Bhattacharyya, former Chairman of Coal India, and Seshagiri Rao, Joint MD and Group CFO of JSW Steel. I also have with me my colleagues Arijit Banerjee and Rajkumar Sahu to talk about the issue of spectrum and coal. But before we move on to the discussion, I also spoke earlier with Mr. MD Godrej, the Chairman of Godrej Group and the President of CII, on the overall economic situation and particularly on the subject that we're discussing on the show today. Mr. Godrej, a quick word on the Parliament logjam and its impact on the economy.
Well, clearly, many of the reforms have to be passed in Parliament, and if Parliament does not work efficiently, clearly it will affect the reform process. I am disappointed. I do hope we are able to overcome this logjam.
But if we could now move forward and talk about the topic that we are discussing on We Mean Business today, can all natural resources be allocated? It's being debated, especially with the recent CAG reports on both 2G and Coalgate, making this really as the basis for calculating the loss to the exchequer. The recent Supreme Court verdict and the government seeking a clarification in the presidential reference have also brought into highlight this issue. What's your view really on this interesting debate?
Well, Sweta, the CII was asked by the Supreme Court to give its opinion on the presidential reference, which we have done. And I would like to summarize that in short. First, we have said that the preferential method of government selling resources, natural resources, should be auction. However, auction cannot be the only method. In many cases, it does not work out. In which case, the executive, that is the government, whether the central government or the state government, should work out alternate mechanisms of sale of natural resources, but these alternate methodology should be both transparent and fair. And the judiciary should come into the process only if transparency and fairness have been compromised. We think if we follow this methodology, then there would be much greater transparency and openness in resource allocation by the government.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.